Welcome back, everyone. As we wrap today's show, we want to end with something that is near and dear to the heart of SingleStore and its leaders and its employees. And that is something we've actually talked about a number of times already during the show today. That's virtues and data for good. I'm pleased to be joined by three SingleStore employees. Introducing them, I'll do from top to bottom here. Aileen Casanave, the VP and head of legal. Aileen, good to see you.
Good morning, how are you?
Doing well. Then we've got Roxy Pourzand, product manager. Hi, Roxy.
Hi there.
And the bottom square, Mike Blumberg, the chief of staff. Mike, great to have you joining us.
Glad to be here.
And Mike, we're going to start with you. So talk to me about SingleStore's virtues. You know, here we are talking about a lot of the rebrand. There's a huge effort behind that, including rethinking your virtues. Talk to us about all the work that you've done there.
Yeah, absolutely. In leading up to rebranding the company and kind of the next phase of our life, we were thinking about ensuring that the people and the culture are aligned with the company itself and the vision that we have for the future. In doing this, we got together the people that we really feel were cultural champions and sat down to say, who are we? What makes us who we are? What makes us SingleStore? And what makes our product so incredible? What we came up with were 5 virtues that this was actually a very authentic and easy process, because what we found was everybody felt and was acting in the same way. At the core of this is our mantra, which is here to build. What we found is that the people that come and succeed and really enjoy working at the company are all builders. They approach their work and their interactions with each other with empathy. We want to go create something amazing. And that is really at the core of what we did. There are 5 different virtues. You can find them on the SingleStore.com website. But this resonated from the executives down to all of the individual contributors at the company. And it really is driving not just the culture of the company, but what we build and who we are at work and outside of work. And so we feel that it aligns really, really well with the SingleStore message that you've heard today, and who we look to be in the future.
Outstanding, and nice to see that there was so much alignment internally as the company went through such a big change at such a changing time in our lives. Aileen, let's go over to you. Talk to us about the SingleStore for Good program. I know a little bit about it, but share with our audience what it's all about and how it ties to the virtues that Mike just talked about.
Sure. So we have a very robust diversity and inclusion organization, and we decided to focus on the making an impact, which is making an impact in our community by creating programs such as a STEM program where young ladies can learn how to code in Python, and with the 100 Black women, to donating. Each employee donated enough that we raised $9,000 by our employees and another $9,000 in a company match for an organization called AACSA, the African American Community Service Agency. And that program provides STEM programs on Saturday, virtual STEM programs, to internal programs where we've taught each other what Juneteenth means. And we've had podcast reviews, and we read the new Jim Crow together. And we really took the virtue of learning and growing, and we decided, we will learn and grow about each other. We celebrated Pride, and we focused on the fact that our employees, whether they are in Portugal or the United Kingdom or right here in the United States, will all learn and grow from each other, focusing on our core virtues.
And I have to say, as a technology correspondent that covers a lot of tech companies week after week, what I saw SingleStore do around Juneteenth was quite unique. It wasn't just about giving folks a holiday. You really worked on educating everybody that had probably from a little bit of familiarity with it to no idea what it was.
Absolutely. We started as early as 9 in the morning and went late into the evening with hour-long programs. We had a book reading on the Jim Crow, and we had one of our senior software salespeople give a lecture, and then also lots of questions and answers. We educated everyone. We had a lot of individuals who never celebrated Juneteenth, didn't know what it was about. And so we decided, rather than just take a holiday and rather than just, go do something associated with Juneteenth, that we would actually, as an organization, and we literally had about 40 people teaching the rest of our 200 employees what Juneteenth meant, why Black Lives Matter was a situation of addressing racism, not politics, and why it was important to understand the total impact today of something that happened, over 100 years ago. It was amazing.
I agree. And I actually learned a lot from you guys and applaud you for taking on something so politically charged, but so necessary. Roxy, let's wrap up with you. A lot of companies, as I said, I cover a lot of technology. A lot of companies talk about programs for good. But what I want you to help us understand is, how do the virtues that Mike talked about and the program that Aileen talked about, how does that translate to SingleStore in terms of building your product?
Yeah, absolutely. At the core of it, it's that our employees and leaders have empathy for those that have different experiences than them. Those that might be less fortunate, those that are struggling. And as an example, we talk about different experiences during our monthly luncheons. Aileen mentioned that we have a matching program where we donate to organizations that promote diversity. And this empathy translates directly to building products, because when you're building products, you need to have empathy for the user. You have to realize that your experiences may not reflect everyone else's experiences. You have to realize that what you know may not be what everyone else knows. And it's incredibly inspiring that we care about that so much as a company. And that empathy really translates to how we can build fantastic products by practicing it.
Thanks, Roxy, and thanks all of you. I'm glad that you brought up empathy. It's something that is obviously very core to SingleStore, but it's also something that, as this year has unfolded, one of the things that C-suite from all over the globe has said, we have to lead with empathy. So I want to thank Aileen, Roxy, and Mike for sharing the virtues of SingleStore for Good and how you're actually infusing those virtues into building the technology. I want to thank all of you for joining us today at this very special live event. We appreciate the time that you've provided to us. And if you missed anything, not to worry, everything will be on demand. For my guests, I'm technology correspondent Lisa Martin from theCUBE. We'll see you next time.